Chad Woolley from the editor group at GitLab, and I'm going to be demonstrating the latest iteration in the architectural spike for the remote development feature, which is support for a workspace using a Devfile which lives in a project repository. So I'll go ahead and create a new workspace. You can see here there's a new radio, which is Devfile source. You could either enter a Devfile as a text field like you could before, or you could pick to select a project containing a Devfile. And you can see there's a drop down here with 2 projects in it. These are all of the projects which exist under the group hierarchy of which the workspace is part of. So we'll go ahead and pick that, and this will automatically update. Also, this has been changed from Apollo polling to GraphQL subscriptions, so the update should be faster and it is also easier to debug. So you can see this workspace is already running. And if you look at the dev file that I used to distinguish it from the default text that we plug in for the text field, it just had an invalid git remote that it was going to check out. So you can see this is the remote dev project under the remote dev group. There's a new field here for project name, and also just here you can see if it has the dev file, because it's triggered by asynchronous workers and worker queues to update the dev file for the project. We'll talk more about that in a minute. So if we open up this workspace, we'll see that it indeed is running, but has an error. So if we cut this project, clone errors.log, you can see here, yep, this is an invalid repo. It couldn't clone it. So let's go in and edit that project. But instead of editing it through the UI, I'm going to go ahead and edit it through the Git command line. So you can see I have the repo here with the dev file, and oops. Just had to reboot my machine because QuickTime wasn't working. So here's my editor. I'm going to take this out and make this a valid dev file with a valid remote. So here we go. We're going to add that. Update dev file. And in the GDK, you have to give it a second before you push or it will fail. So we'll do that. Now we push that. And we can see over here, if we go back to our workspace, if we were to just edit it and click over here as the text, you can see this is now showing the current state of it, which doesn't have the invalid part anymore. And the problem is we're not automatically restarting this. That's an unanswered question of what we want to do if you update the config or dev file for a running workspace. So for now, let's just go ahead and request a restart for this one so it will pick up that dev file. While that's doing, I'll point out a couple of other things. We now have this calculated displayed state. This is what would eventually be displayed to the user, whereas the desired state and actual state are more for help in debugging the spike. That's the actual values of the underlying enumerations. So you can see since we requested it to restart, it's automatically stopped the workspace, and then now it's restarting it. And if we come over here, we can see the TTYD workspace. When it was restarting, we lost a connection to it. And over here, yep, it's already running again. So we'll hit enter to reconnect to this workspace. And oh, now we don't have the error. And if we see the repo is successfully checked out with the URL that is valid. So there we go. Let's just let's go ahead and terminate this workspace to clean everything up. You can see we now have active in the terminated tab, lots of other terminated workspaces that I have locally. And here's a place where we're calculating a different displayed state than the actual running state, because the dev workspace operator doesn't directly support the terminated state. And in a few more seconds, you should see this workspace get terminated and disappear. And there it goes. That's the demo. Thanks for watching. Bye.